everyone, welcome back to Blooms and Bicycles and happy Halloween. Moving into the celebrations of Halloween, local pumpkin farms become a hive of activity with groups of families and friends. Like glowing orange autumnal suns, these wonderful fruits, which sit patiently waiting to be taken to their new home for the festive celebrations, sit in contrast to the colour of the earth behind. Then becoming the centrepiece on party tables across our lands, they complement the sea of carnival colours we find in the other decorations at this time of year. Embracing the magic of October, this Halloween flower collection has been designed to help you encapsulate the excitement of these atmospheric celebrations. So in today's video, we'll be sharing with you how to construct the Halloween Medium Letterbox Flowers. Our water vessel today is already prepared with both the water and the flower feed. However, if you would like to know how to prepare your water vessel, you can find the link to our flower care video in the description box below. So first, to construct the grid, we'll be using our various stems of Grevillea. So Grevillea is a very naturally long stem, and this is what it will look like when it arrives to you. Some of the stems may also come with a significant offshoot, such as this one here. So if it does, you can always use this to your advantage and split the stem into two. And that's what we'll do today. So we'll do this by cutting away on an angle just above the offshoot that you want to make into an additional piece. Taking away any of the leaves which will fall under the water level, we'll then start to create a star-like formation working with the magic of 5. We say the magic of 5 because 3, 5 and 7 are the magic numbers to work with in floristry for an irregular balance and a natural symmetry. So now that we've got 2 points of green Grevillea in our display, we'll look to split this pink piece out into 3. So we'll place one pink piece of Grevillea to the front in between the 2 green stems, one in the middle and the central point, and one towards the back. Next, we'll then take our limonium, which we also use to build out the grid. Again, limonium has many offshoots just like the Grevillea, so we'll use this to our advantage and split it into various stems. So I think we could create 3 stems from this. And we'll place the larger one towards the back and the smaller piece at the very front, making sure all of the flowers get their full chance to shine, as we always say. So next we'll take our orange stems, which is our mini pumpkin, our Chinese lantern stem, and I just love the gradient of the lanterns. They go from real deep clementine colours at the bottom all the way through to more grapefruits and then lemons and zesty limes at the very end. Just magical. So positioning one off to the left, we'll then position the other one off to the right. Now these pumpkin stems are actually quite heavy because the pumpkin itself has some weight, as does the stem, which needs to be sturdy to give it the support it needs. So as you lower this into the grid in your vase, if you're just mindful to gradually let go, just to be sure that it won't fall out of the vase. So now we'll take the final stem of orange, which is the Celosia, again removing any of the leaves which are not to any benefit and which will fall under the water mark. And I think just positioning this right in the centre will create a nice triangle. So now we'll take our purple stems, being the chrysanthemum, in a very festival carnival purple colour. Making the use of the natural length which comes with this chrysanthemum stem variety, we'll use this to create the height towards the back by not trimming away too much from the stem. And our Eustoma, which is in a more mottled purple, more typical of the natural purples you'll see out in nature at this time of year. It creates a nice graduation from the very vivid colours of the chrysanthemum and the pampas to come, through to the more fresher limonium purples, which are more like a lavender hue, and then more into this deeper colour here. And just making sure that sits on an angle in a mirrored position to the chrysanthemum will just provide that natural balance. And now to take our pom-pom dahlia, very similar in its formation to the type of dahlia which was included in last month's collection. This also grows at the back of the stem as much as it does at the front to create this beautiful geometric pattern which shows the ombre of purple blending into a real coral coloured orange. It's gorgeous. Now what I think would be quite nice is to have this, given its coral tone, it would naturally break up the very vivid orange of these 3 points here. Therefore, trimming it down quite significantly and positioning it lower to the front, I think will make the perfect place to show this dahlia off. So now to take our candy coloured roses. So looking to see where there are currently any voids in the design, we'll just try and work with any voids which are off to the left and off to the right. In this case, the green leaves have been left on the rose. This is just a question of personal preference. As noted in our flower care video, you might wish to take these off for various reasons. If you do wish to know more about this, you can find the link in the description box below. And finally, just to take our dried stems, which are the taupe coloured Asparagus Fern, which always just adds some very subtle, timeless contrast in the more muted tones, as opposed to the carnival colours of everything else. So now to take these wonderful pampas which add a real touch of luxury to Halloween. So you might wish to put some newspaper down first if you like, before starting to prepare the flowers. These two coloured pampas are actually synthetically dyed, so one thing to just be mindful of is when it does come into contact with the water, the dye can transfer into the water. And when you're lifting out the flowers to switch out the water or to dispose of the arrangement, if you either make sure you put on a pair of rubber gloves or be careful to lift out the flowers from your water vessel above the water line so you don't come into contact with any of the stems which are soaked in the water. It will come off your hands, but it might just take a few times to wash off, that's all. So with these spectacular pampas, the best thing to do is to just loosen off the feathery stems to really make the most of their plume. And one little secret is to pull all of the offshoots to one side to reveal the main spine. And once you've done this, you can actually split this into two if you like, which we will do today. So we'll just pull them off to the side, as you can see, to reveal that spine. And we'll do this at a midpoint on the stem. And taking our scissors, cut away. And as you can see, you could never tell. So working with the magic of 3, we'll now have 3 very vivid splashes of purple. 2 from the pampas and 1 from the chrysanthemum. The smaller offshoot of pampas just nestled in perfectly towards the front of the design, and this larger piece we will now use at the back on the opposite side to the chrysanthemum, again because it's all about that natural balance. And in a similar way with this very large black pampas, we can split this off also. In the very same way, what we'll do today is split it into 3. So we'll move all of the feathery offshoots to one side to find the main spine. And we'll work out roughly how to take away 3 even-sized pieces. So I think one can be cut away here at this top piece. And then cut in half the remainder into another 2. Now you'll have 3 plumes to work with if you choose to do this as well. They don't have to sit in the water because they're dried pieces. If you just use the grid to help them anchor into place. And so trying to achieve a fan-like shape as you arrange your different stems will really help to achieve that natural burst effect, which really gives a wow factor in any design. So we will now, I think, work with this void at the back and maybe just reposition that celosia to make sure it still has its space to be seen. It might just mean re-wiggling the celosia back into the grid somehow until it feels like it's supporting itself again. But the Pampas will definitely help with doing that. So now to take our hill flowers, there's 2 small black stars. They can be positioned next to the pumpkin. And after one final look over, there you have it, the Halloween Medium Letterbox Flowers. I hope you have a happy Halloween.